Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. What I do is every day of 2024, I vow to check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my initial thoughts on the songs individually, rank the songs, and then of course give you my overall thoughts on the artist based on what I just heard. Today's artist, as you can see right there, is While She Sleeps. So what do I know about While She Sleeps? I know they're a metalcore band that self-funds everything as of late. They have a Patreon. They're fully funded through that. They have a very rabid fan base. They're from the UK. I heard the song Sleep Society when it came out, like 2021, I think. The singer, I think his name was Laws or Lon, something like that, was on the Lead Singer Syndrome podcast with Shane Told. He played that song at the end, so I have a pretty good understanding of While She Sleeps, but I've never dove in, so I'm going to remedy that today. This was a suggestion from one of you kind viewers, so please keep those suggestions coming. Leave comments down there, letting me know bands or artists that I absolutely need to check out. I'd appreciate it oh so much. I still have like 250 more of these to do, so please keep those suggestions coming so that I have content to farm out to you, and also, you know, have some music that my ears will enjoy, hopefully. But without any further ado, let's dive into While She Sleeps. Alright, so the first track I checked out was off their album Brainwashed, and it was called Four Walls. I was a little surprised when I hit play on this that it was so slow for about a minute or so. It then picked up, because I was like, oh, I thought this was a metalcore band that kind of went more radio rocky. This doesn't sound metalcore. Then it picked up and I was like, oh, okay, this is more in line with what I expected. The cleans in the song are like a spoken word kind of flow. I probably wouldn't have minded it if it was just used sparingly, but it's used pretty often, so I kind of bumped into that a little. Thankfully, the bridge is clean vocals, normal clean vocals, and honestly, it ruled. I was surprised while listening to this track that it's over 5 minutes long and there was like no long musical breaks. But then we get that 30-second fade out outro. Next up was their album You Are We, and I checked out Silence Speaks. If I was teaching you all watching this a class on how to write the perfect metalcore chorus, I would play this chorus. I love the use of the oohs being used as like an instrument. The best backing vocals are the ones that feel like the voice is being used as an instrument, and that's honestly exactly what happens here, and it works so well. The song features Ollie from Bring Me the Horizon fame. His feature is basically in the breakdown, which fits perfectly. That breakdown kind of leads into a soft-sounding bridge. The contrast of those two styles back to back work really, really well together. Moving on to their So What album, released in 2019, I checked out Antisocial. Okay, we get 3 different 15-second intros into this track. Just pick 2 and move on. Actually, better yet, just pick 1. I would say these lyrics are probably the most relatable, not only for me personally, but for like a general audience. But the lyrics are unfortunately the most basic out of the 3 tracks I've heard. But hey, maybe they were just going for that relatability. So the last 2 tracks, the guitar was really the leading instrument on these tracks. This one, though, leaves room for the drums to become that lead instrument, and I dug it. And another great bridge on this song, While She Sleeps. If they weren't a band, they could be construction workers, because man, do they know how to build a good bridge. Alright, skipping Sleep Society, because I've already heard that track, and that's by far the most streamed track, so we're going to jump right to their new album, Self Hell, and I checked out the title track. Everybody's got a complex, everybody's got a problem. Okay, so the vocals here are pretty heavy. The band had gotten kind of softer over the last 3 tracks. Not that it was ever really super soft, but they returned to that heaviness in parts only, because other parts kind of sound like straight up Britpop. There was a lot of electronics in Antisocial as well, but they turned the electronics up to 11 on this track. It definitely stands out more as a result, but I'd say the electronics kind of have a new metal-y tinge to them, so it's still heavy. But we get some repetition in the lyrics. Alright, so those were the 4 tracks I checked out. Let's go ahead and rank them. Number 1, Silence Speaks. I know I said specifically if I'm making a metalcore chorus that this song is what I would point to for the perfect one, but honestly this is pretty close to the perfect metalcore song for myself personally. Great bridge, great breakdown, vocals, vocal feature that's shined as well. It's a Jeff's kiss. At number 2, I'm going Antisocial. This is kind of the perfect blending of the Silent Speaks era as well as their current Self-Hell era, or at least based on that one song I heard. It's a bridge between those two styles, but with a great bridge involved. But they really got to tone down on the long musical breaks. We don't need 15-second intros 3 times. But Antisocial was able to hold the number 2 spot because in number 3, we have 4 Walls, which had a 30-second long outro that was just a fade out that I did not dig. This also had the spoken word cleans used throughout that I really couldn't get behind for the most part, but we get a good bridge, so all is basically forgiven, and overall, I'd say this track is definitely good. And at 4, Self-Hell. Again, I'm going to go on a limb and say this track is good, but it definitely had the issues that annoyed me the most. The repetition in lyrics specifically. The electronics heavy sound didn't really bug me, but I do like the guitar to be more front and center in my rock music. And it kind of takes the back seat here, which ultimately put it in the last spot. Alright, so overall, what are my thoughts on While She Sleeps? I think While She Sleeps is a great band. I like that they're able to play with all these different sounds, and they're not stuck to what the label or their fans want. Their fans seem content with them experimenting, and I'm going to go on a limb and say I am now a While She Sleeps fan. Therefore, I am also okay with them experimenting with new sounds. And honestly, I'm excited to hear what comes next. And yeah, look out for Self-Hell being on my album of the year contenders list. I don't know if it'll make it, still too early, but definitely going to give it a couple spins and see where it ranks. Based on these 4 tracks, I think it's earned that. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I, once again, am your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad. I appreciate you hanging out with me these last 10 minutes or so. Please, please, please do me a favor. Hit those comments. Give me bands or artist suggestions like I previously asked. And hey, let me know your favorite While She Sleeps songs. Maybe there's one that I didn't get to that I'll want to check out when time permits. And since Self-Hell's been out for a little while, if you've listened to it, leave me a review in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Let's get a conversation going back and forth. Like I said, I still have 250 more of these to go, so it'd mean a whole lot to me if you stuck around for the ride. And the best way to do that is if you cut my wrist and hit subscribe. Emo Cat Dad signing off for now. Until tomorrow, I want to hear you sad.